Physical attacks and bullying, that's the reality of what is happening inside schools across the country. Now some Suncoast parents are saying enough is enough and enrolling their kids in self-defense classes. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick explains how these techniques is empowering students to stand up to bullies.
It happens most frequently to middle schoolers, but kids can be bullied at any age. Most students say if they haven't been bullied themselves, that they've seen one of their friends get bullied. So parents are enrolling their students in self-defense classes that are spread throughout Sarasota and Manatee counties. So much so that these classes are now just as popular for kids as they are for adults.
Mandy Sands wanted her sons, Daniel and Kyle, to learn discipline and self-defense, so she enrolled them in jiu-jitsu classes at Gracie Bradenton.
We started it because of a confidence and a hey, I need you to know how to defend yourself, but it's given them way more than that.
Daniel was forced to use his self-defense tactics one day after he and his friend were being bullied, locked in a school bathroom.
Daniel was trying to talk the kids into letting them out. They were both sort of being verbally assaulted, if you will, and his one friend really started getting very anxious, was crying a lot, and that just led to a lot more bullying. And the kids didn't know this, but they were really picking on the one kid's mother. Turned out that she was dying from cancer, and they were making a lot of fun about her hair and hair loss. Nobody knew that at the time, so they didn't really know that what they were saying. But Daniel realized that him and this kid weren't getting out of that bathroom without doing something.
So Daniel eventually used a jiu-jitsu move, putting the bully in a rear naked chokehold. Daniel and his friend made it out of the bathroom, and Daniel immediately went to the principal's office to report what happened.
And I told him how proud I was of him, that, you know, in my book, not only did he defend himself, but he defended another child who wasn't able to defend himself, and he did exactly what I, as a parent, wanted him to do.
Daniel learned jiu-jitsu at Gracie Bradenton, which sits right off of Route 70.
The teenagers and the kids today, they're ruthless.
He's one of about 25 kids in the program right now, learning the same basic techniques that adults do.
Almost every parent that we get in, they tell us that their kid was getting bullied, or that they want to prevent their kid from being bullied.
So at Gracie Bradenton, kids are taught jiu-jitsu and how to defend themselves if they're in any kind of violent situation, bullying or not. The techniques take size out of the equation during a fight, instead using leverage and technique.
This is why a smaller, weaker person can win a fight against a larger, stronger opponent in jiu-jitsu, because we use our whole body against the person's one limb.
Eventually, these techniques become second nature to kids who can use them if they need them.
When it comes to self-defense, we teach more than just techniques. I mean, we try to teach situational awareness, because knowing what's going on around you is probably the biggest thing that you can do to prevent things from happening in the first place.
A few miles south off of Clark Road in Sarasota County, Jayco's Boxing has a slightly different style of self-defense techniques for kids.
Boxing is it's a great way to defend yourself, and we don't stress anything like going to pick fights, obviously, but you want to be able to know how to defend yourself. But it just gives them some confidence on how to handle themselves, how to carry themselves, and if push came to shove, knowing what to do.
Matthew Farhat teaches 2 classes to kids. Junior Jayco's is a class for elementary school kids, and Jayco's Middies is a class designed for middle schoolers. On average, there are about 15 kids in each class.
There's maybe a couple that I know that have dealt with bullying issues and wanted to come in, and the parents have told me they wanted more confidence and how to better deal with those situations.
And the longer students do it, the better their instincts become.
They're going to learn how to keep their hands up in self-defense. They're going to learn how to duck and avoid punches as well. In fact, I actually just spoke with one of the fathers the other day, and he was telling me that one of the other students came at his kid and he pivoted off just like one of our drill works. He didn't end up punching anyone, but he actually did one of our drill, and applied it.
Daniel and his mother are glad he knew how to defend himself when he needed it and recommend it to others.
And I would say, if your kids are thinking about it, definitely let them try it, especially girls. I think a lot of people think it's not for girls, even though I happen to have 2 boys. Definitely let your girls try it.
Now, these are just 2 of the classes out of dozens that are available across the Suncoast. So parents, if you're interested in enrolling your kids in a self-defense class, you have plenty to choose from. Now, your child could be being bullied and you may not even know it, because according to statistics, only about 20% of kids tell their parents when they're being bullied. Reporting in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.